Kia team, welcome to DayZ, welcome to the White Cloud, welcome to Sakhal, and welcome to Petropavlovsk Sachalsky. I think, if I'm saying that correctly. So here we are, up a chimney. We're up a chimney. This is down near the south tip of Petropavlovsk. Let's have a look at the map. Right, here we are, up a chimney down here on the southern side. It stretches on a bit. It does stretch on a bit, and it marches. It's got a lot of trees. It's very forested for a city, which is kind of cool. And it's got a number of elements to it. So we're going to be tackling this in sort of stages. So you can see it kind of marches off. It's more Electro Berezino than Cherno. So you've got lots of these smaller apartments and things. Nothing large. Like there's no big tower blocks like you would find around Cherno. So mostly small things. There's the hotel tower thing. And a lot of this kind of port stuff, although not as big, not as nearly as many containers as you might find. And there's other containers and things over there, and the port does stretch on for a bit. It's a great big port, and we have this little military evacuation area with the damaged helicopter and the buses, and obviously they were possibly trying to ferry people out or ferry people in based on the lore, depending on how you take it. I guess they were ferrying people in, if the lore's to be believed. Yeah, and there's a few things here, so we'll be tackling all of these things individually. And I'm a bit cold, so I'm going to have to go light yet another fire. And I think what we'll do is we'll tackle it in elements, and we'll probably start at the we'll start down here. We'll start at the southern end, and we'll cover the southern end, and then we'll cover maybe part of the central bit where police and various other things are, and then we'll cover the northern bit, which is industrial and residential. Okay, so this is Petropavlovsk Sachalsky, right? I'll see you in a bit. Well, here we are down at the southern part of Petropavlovsk, and there's a big tower over there. I guess it must be looking north, looking at the other side. Let's have a look at the map. Yeah, we must be looking up to the other side across the port. So we're down here in this industrialized area. I suppose the main thing you want to see is the military evacuation area. It's a port, it's a container area. There's some industrial buildings. There's places you could, hide out, make a fire. You might find some drums in some of these. You could make a fire, or tear repair kits. Yeah, so it is what it is. It's an industrial area. There you go. Sledgehammers apparently kind of sticking in and out of containers, clipping the container edges. And like I've showed you, there's the big whatnot. And you're going to run across guys like this down here, military guys, I guess, which is fine. Guy's at a plate carrier. We might avoid him. So here we are. You got all of the medical tent military area, as you can expect, crawling with a variety of zeds, military zeds, industrial zeds. Some of them will be wearing plate carriers. Some of them will not. I don't want to bother them right now. It's all the same to you. Industrial stuff. And you've got the military tents, which leads you out to fire. And you got things like this. Firefighter's pants. Is there somebody around here? Oh, there you are. Hello. Oh, missed. do, thank you. Yeah, so a few Zeds, obviously. And you have obviously a smattering of military tents all over. Even down here out by the road by this school, there's military tents. I don't believe there is anything by the helicopter. We'll go and have a look, but here you go, military containers. Anything in here? Ooh, look at that. Some stuff, some bits and pieces, some odds and sods. It's nice. What is this? It's like an old Sikorsky or something. Oh yeah, look, there's this guy. Wow, they won't quit, will they? Thank you. What have we got here? SK. Yeah, so check out the helicopter. You never know what you might find. Like I said, fire, which is always worth checking out. Some more containers, stuff in, perhaps. Go and have a look on the road. So we got quite a little military camp over here too, around the school, and I guess, you know, kind of in keeping with the whole, where would you evacuate people? You know, schools might be a place. So yeah, got in here boots, various bits and pieces, some more things in here. What have we got in there? Another SK. It's all well and good. Got the school itself, of course. If you want to build bases, it'll be a bit dicey building a base out here. It's going to be a well-populated, well-traversed place by players. Military containers. I mean, this is a smorgasbord of stuff, right? If you're looking to get started with bits and pieces. Pants and clothes. Zeds. Military Z? No, just a regular old Z. Yeah, so it comes back. So there's quite a lot of stuff here. Quite a lot of stuff here that you could find yourself finding a use for, which would be pretty good. Heading out of here, head back into the residential areas. You obviously have the usual kind of bits and pieces and whiz-waz houses and all the rest of it. I'd say to watch out for fences. There's a lot more fences that are problematic or can be problematic because they're intact. Who's that? Some guy in a hedge with a bag. Yeah. So a lot more Zeds around. So getting around is a bit problematic with Zeds. Oh, I think they're in the house. We got some more of these apartment blocks, various other bits and pieces. Another Zed. So let's have a quick look at the map, because there is one thing we want to check out on the south, and that's water. So up here in the hills is water, so we're going to have to identify where that is. So you just keep going back, basically, and just keep heading back behind the houses. Just keep heading back. Like I've said before, water on this map is essentially inland. Certainly in the towns and areas there is water in most of the places I've been to anyway, but it's not necessarily easy to find. So you've got to come back past all these residential areas. You got the apartments over there, you got the usual kind of stuff. We're heading back towards this tower, as you can see. Follow the roads up to the back, and think it will be off this. Is this the trail? No, it doesn't look like it. Need to find the trail. Here it is. So once you follow the road back, or the roads back, you'll eventually find the trail, which of course will take you up towards water. Let's have a look. Here we are, heading out in the woods behind a little tree. Is the spring, and this spring is called Kalutse. Kalutse, I guess, is what we're going to call it. So that's sort of this southern-ish portion. And, you know, lots of houses. There's lots of houses. This is Petropavlovsk. It's big. This is the biggest place on the map. Look at the size of it. It's quite geographically spread out. I guess. Yeah, I mean, it takes up the whole size of Nagorno, and I know we have things down here, but they're not a patch on Petropavlovsk. So Petropavlovsk is the biggest. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back across, and we're going to have a look at the area around medical as well. But do be aware that there are lots of stuff, and there's things that march off into the inside, and they're like little hamlets and things. So I'm not getting involved with those, and the power lines that march off to the geothermal power plant and all that. So there's lots of little bits, but we're gonna stick to the main bit, and we're gonna head on over and I'll have a look around medical. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so here we are at medical, which in this case is a great big hospital. So this is kind of a tweaked asset, I guess. We've got like it's essentially two of what I'm used to hospitals kind of tacked together. So let's have a quick look inside. There's zeds obviously floating around. Oh, bit of lag there. This bit you probably all know with the downstairs and the everything. We'll go and we'll have a look through this door, see if the asset has changed any since you remember. We got the little bit around the corner, which is always somewhere to come and check out, because you never know. There's stuff. I've occasionally found stuff down there, but you know, who knows. Close the door. Got another wing of the hospital over there. Got that. Got quite a lot of stuff at the back of hospital, which is all stuff that you can go and obviously check. We now have up here, which you've probably seen before, up on top of the roof. It looks essentially the same. We've got this slightly higher asset over here. We've got all this stuff out the back. Got the houses marching around it and everything else. Let's go across to the other side and we'll have a look at that. This also, like, coming through here and coming across here, it reminds me of the town in Livonia, the big town in Livonia, whose name eludes me right now. This reminds me of the hospital building in Pavlovo. That's what this reminds me of, in the gas zone in Pavlovo. It's not a hospital there, though, is it? It's it's like a tech building, I guess. But in this case, it's part of the hospital. Yeah, see, so we've got this. I guess there's hospital items that spawn down here, which is all good. So yeah, an interesting new hospital asset, which is probably great. So let's have a look at the map again and see where we are. So this is sort of the southern bit really done, and I'm not going to take you around too much because it's lots of houses. There's lots of houses. Have a look around. There's lots of houses. It's certainly challenging getting about, but you know, it's a big place. There's lots of things to see and do and all the rest of it. And then what we'll do is we'll move on into the central bit, and you can see from the shape of the buildings that you've got lots of these townhouse and apartment things, you know, which again is fair to expect, but it doesn't have any of those kind of old-style European townhouses like the waterfront in Cherno. At least I haven't seen any yet. There may be some, but it's, you know, you can see how it's kind of arranged and laid out, with things kind of around it, stuff by the waterfront and stuff kind of in lines marching back from the waterfront. So we'll go into the central bit, we'll have a look at police, and we'll have a look at the area in the center next, and then we'll move on to the northern block. I'll see you in a minute. Right, well here we are, we're up here on police. So we've come a little ways. So there's the church and the big hotel building, and out in front of that is the fair. There's like a fairground, a seaside fairground thing associated with the hotel, which makes some sense. You got the big church ground around it. We were way down there, over towards the hospital, which is back there, and we're now here in front of this or behind this industrial complex, as you can see. And there's a few sheds and various other bits and pieces, garages, shops, and bushlight jackets, which is pretty good. And some more of these townhouse style apartment things with different colored facades, different shaped facades, and yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I like it. It looks good. It looks realistic. You got apartment blocks over there as well. So where are we on the actual map? Well, we're over here. There's a bridge here. You cross what is which is kind of like a frozen river. Which is pretty good, and we've come up here, so we're surrounded by these apartments and houses. We were down there in medical, like I said. You can see church, you can see the hotel with the seaside fair and all, and the Ferris wheel and all that. And we're up here, and oh my, there's just so much houses, just so many houses. We'll go and take a little quick run round, but there's so many zeds. There's actually so many zeds, which is quite a surprise to me. Anyway, I mean, I knew there were more zeds on this map, but there are so many more zeds on this map that it's not even funny. So you do need to be careful, just because like they do damage your clothes quite significantly if they hit you. If they land a solid hit on you, they really do whack your clothes. You got a few things through here. What's this? This looks like it's just a pea coat, odds and sods, bits and pieces. So let's just move back through the housing area and see what this looks like. Here we go. The road. Yep. There's already a Z somewhere. Oh, it's a copper Crime Stopper. Hello. Nearly. Right. Try and deal with this guy from a perspective where it suits me, not suits him. Right, so like I said, here we go, heading back through the residential areas. You got these like pipes everywhere, which is, I mean, I guess that's, you know, the kind of point, but it's really, wow. I mean, it's pretty unsightly. I don't, they're you can get up on them. So so a sneaky little, tricky though. You're gonna have to be good at balancing, right? So maybe you can sneak around up here. Just goes off down that way. Oh, yeah. You'd have to be much better at balancing than I am. So I mean, in theory, it's doable. If you're better at it than me. Oh, cut me again. And they do cut a lot. I'd say 1 in 3 hits they'll cut you. If they land a hit, they'll cut you. And this Sachal's about due to die. Anyway, and they, like I said, they do trash clothes and various bits and pieces. So you've got all this apartments. You've got these apartment blocks here. The newer style ones that are closed on, everything's more or less shut on one side but open on the other, which, you know, we've been through before. Not a big surprise, not a big drama. Plenty of cars, plenty of wrecked cars, probably various other bits and pieces, and then you get past this and you're heading off into the usual kind of small housing stock, I guess, the things that you're used to. Standalone houses, let's call them standalone houses, that come out here at the back, and then you come out the back and there's an aerial up there, and you're back into these kind of houses, and then we're heading around. So yeah, so there's lots of apartments, lots of various things. Building the apartments, you say? I don't know. Maybe I haven't thought about it. I haven't tried. We're not going to get into building for a while yet, but it's certainly something we'll have a look at. We'll have a look at places you can build on the map eventually. Obviously, the issue being that if you're going to build down here, you can expect people to come and try and break into it at some point. Yet another Z. But it could be something that you want to do for a I don't know, for a what do you call it, like a spawn top-up kind of a base. Cut me again. I mean, they just won't stop cutting. They really won't. They just won't stop cutting, these Zeds. Really irritating. And I think my sickle's just about had it. That be right? Not quite. It's nearly though. Anyway, so let's duck into this house because I'm gonna have to get warmed up again. It does take a while to get round, you know, and you do have to stop and sort out your heat buff, and your everything else in between. So yeah, so we were down there and we've had a look and we've been up behind those apartments and we're somewhere over here. We're nearly in the northern area. So I'll get warmed up and sort myself out, and then we'll head up to the northern area, and that'll be it for Petropavlovsk Sachalsky. And I'll see you soon. Ta-ta. Right, hello. So we're up a crane. Hello, crane. This is the northern part. So the edge of the town is just literally around here. So you've got these oil tanks. You've got this oil silo situation happening on over here. You've got this oil refinery tech place, as it's called, with these big industrial buildings and various other bits, this construction site and so on, and it marches out onto the edge of the harbor wall, as it were. Out the back here, oh hello, out the back here, not a lot. You know, there's a few more. There's this containerized yard area, industrial area, containerized yard area. Those are the apartment blocks we were looking at not too long ago, when we were going to get warm. And some industrial buildings and a couple of other houses. There's this fence that goes around the outside of this kind of industrial area and marches off into the back. And I'm not going to run around here because it's an industrial area, and you've seen industrial areas before, and you know what they're like. They are like what they are like. So here you go. So where are we? We're up here at the top, Petropavlovsk. We're up in this crane. By this building site, and you can see that there's all this industrial, various bits and pieces, and like I said, there's other houses and bits, and it kind of bleeds into the places we've been looking at. You've got the denser townhouse and apartment house blocks down by the front, and then as you move further up, you've got more of the kind of assets that you're used to, which is what you might call the detached buildings, the standalone buildings with the outhouses, sheds, garages, various other bits and pieces. Right now, there's one place left to do, and it's this water. It's been miles away, but we are going to head out there and we're going to have a look out there. I mean, technically speaking, it is somewhere you need to know, and I would recommend that you know where it is. I mean, obviously you can go down to the one in the south, which is much closer, and it's peppered with all these hamlets and little areas around it. There's this one out here. Is this Petropavlovsk? It's sort of in the middle of nowhere, really. I don't know. I'm not sure we should go and have a look at that one. Let me have a think about it, because I think it's a bit far out of our way to belong to this town. But I suppose when you look at it in the broader context, it probably fits within that. So yeah, okay, we'll go and have a look at that. We'll go and have a look at this one first. I mean, it's way out in the way out. It's way out back in the outback, as they say. And this one's not far behind. So we'll go and have a look at those. And that will probably do us. It's big. It's a big place. It's a big town. It's spread out. It's spread out over quite a large distance. When you think that that's the hotel, I mean, we could barely see. That's the southern edge. And I know there's a bit of a haze going on and everything, but it's probably one of the most spread out towns. I don't think there's any other towns, cities that are quite this spread out. So we'll be heading up that way somewhere in search of water. And when I have found that water and we know what it looks like, I'll bring you back, and then we'll do one more water, and then that'll be it. Whew! We'll see you soon. Right, well, here we are. We're up here at the first one, which is over here, and that's one even further out. We're not going there. So it's a bit tricky to find this one, because it actually comes off this spur road. So if you can find your way up here, you can follow the road out past police. And as long as you kind of keep going to the right, after police, it'll pull you up here, and you're looking for this area over here. And it is a bit of a pain to find if you don't know where it is. And you'll find the little path. And once you find the little path, it'll take you up to the spring. And the spring is again very well hidden in its own little dingly dell. And this spring is called Bugalovka. So there you go. That's the Bugalovka spring. So yeah, way out. You can see there's the hotel way down there. There's some houses. There's a whole bunch of other houses spread out. You've got these two aerials. So you're way up the top of this valley. Which is fine. I mean, that's not the worst place to be, up at the top of this valley. And you can see there's another little church. You come up behind this little church up this way in the house, and over to this road, and all the way up here. So that's this spring. So we've got one more spring to look at, and then that'll be it. I'll see you in a minute. Right, here you are. Here's this one, which has got lots of graffiti and stuff inside it. I don't know what any of that means. Hopefully it's all good. I would not have found this one without a map. This is the trail. There's no trail. There's no trail. There's a derelict house. There's a derelict house here, which is pretty good, because I'm going to need a light fire. It's getting dark. So the derelict house up here. But essentially, I only found this because I have a map. So I know how to navigate rocks, valleys, contours, the houses, all of that kind of stuff. I suppose if you think about it, if you head out of the hospital and you follow the kind of valley up here, you'll eventually get your way up here. But I mean, it's a heck of a punt. If you do get up here, it's probably a safe place to be, because I don't think anyone else is going to find it intentionally. People might stumble across it by accident, but highly unlikely. Anyway, there you go. The three springs, there, and there, which sit around Petropavlovsk Sachalsky, which is big. It is a big place. I mean, you could probably I've spent a day here. And I can get around quickly. If you're on foot and you're having to take your time and there's people around, this is one of those places where you could literally spend days in. getting your stuff together, and it's always a challenge because the more Zeds that you run into, the greater the likelihood they'll damage your gear. But the longer you stay around, the greater the likelihood you'll find better gear. And it has a lot of things in it. And I found out that these things are tombstones. This thing that I didn't know what it was, kind of hard to see. This one might be easier. So this is a tombstone, which means that this is a cemetery. So there you go. That's what that little icon means. Everything else is what everything else is. Wow. I hope you found this video useful. Do drop a like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these is coming out. And if you are interested in applying to join the White Cloud server, please follow the instructions below the video, and I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.
PlayStation